Beyond the Gates spoilers. Oh my god, besties. Welcome back to our channel on this beautiful, chaotic Tuesday. I am literally filming this while running errands, balancing an iced coffee on my steering wheel, because I just had to jump on here and vent to you guys immediately. Grab your snacks, grab a paper bag to breathe into, because we are diving straight into the absolute madness that just dropped. You guys, I am deceased. Stop what you are doing right now. I am literally shaking. Wait, we need to talk about this now because my soul has actually left my body and is currently floating somewhere above Fairmont Crest. I am genuinely hyperventilating. I was mid-skincare routine when this scene played, and I literally smeared charcoal mask all over my white rug. And I don't even care because what we just witnessed is the most insane, world-ending tea ever. I am personally offended, but also totally living for the sheer cinematic mayhem of it all. Send help. My jaw is permanently on the floor, and I don't think I will ever recover from the absolute psychological warfare we were just subjected to. Wait, I'm glitching. Okay, back to the main event. But seriously, my brain is visibly buffering from the sheer audacity of this plot. We are not just watching this show anymore, we are invested. Like, I need a support group. I need a therapist who specializes in fictional trauma, because the stakes are astronomical right now. Bestie, be for real right now. Did anyone actually see this specific twist coming? I mean, I knew things were bad, I knew there was foul play, but I didn't know they were extortion, corporate espionage, and premeditated homicide bad. The writers woke up and chose absolute violence, and I am here for every single second of it. Wait, backtrack for a second. I missed a step. Let me just set the stage for anyone who hasn't been obsessively refreshing the timeline like a maniac. So, we all know Bill Hamilton has been in the hospital looking like absolute death warmed over, right? And we know Hayley, his supposed loving wife, who, by the way, used to be Danny's daughter's best friend before she swooped in and stole Bill, which is honestly so unhinged, has been hovering around his bed like a vulture in designer heels. And don't even get me started on the vibes in that hospital room when Danny and Hayley were literally fighting over his near comatose body. The tension was so thick you could cut it with a scalpel. Oh, hold on. I should have mentioned this earlier, but Danny straight up called Bill her husband in front of her entire family, completely forgetting she is currently married to Andre. Did I say that yet? Ugh, my brain is mush. Moving on, but seriously, the hospital room was already a pressure cooker. Bill's blood pressure is skyrocketing, he is fighting for his life, and Hayley is playing the concerned, weeping wife. But we all knew she was up to something. We just didn't know how deep the betrayal went until Caroline Lee, the absolute MVP of this entire saga, decided to step up and single-handedly carry this plotline on her back. Let's talk about Caroline for a second, because she deserves all the awards. She is Bill's highly competent, fiercely loyal assistant. She basically runs his life, his schedule, his legal empire, and probably knows his blood type better than he does. And Caroline is no fool. She has been watching Bill's health decline despite him getting top-tier, aggressive medical treatment. She's looking at the charts, she's looking at the doctors, and most importantly, she is looking at Hayley. Caroline's side-eye in the recent episodes has been Oscar-worthy. I am genuinely obsessed with her. She is officially my favorite person in the DMV. She saw through the tears and the fake concern instantly. So, Caroline starts getting suspicious. She notices that every single morning, without fail, Hayley is brewing this specific, special, little tea for Bill. It's giving very much caring wife, but Caroline knows Hayley is an absolute snake. I was screaming at my screen, "Caroline, smell the tea! Swipe the tea! Do something!" And what does our queen do? She literally sneaks in and takes a sample of the tea Hayley mixed up. I had to yeet my phone across the room when she slipped that little vial into her purse because the stealth, the precision, the absolute nerve of this woman. Wait, can we just pause for a second to appreciate the aesthetic of that scene? The lighting in the hospital room was so moody, and Caroline was wearing this incredibly sharp, tailored blazer like a literal suit of armor while sneaking the sample. It's giving major corporate espionage mixed with medical thriller, and I am here for it. The background noise of the heart monitor beeping while she poured the tea into the vial, the slight clink of the glass, cinematic masterpiece. It felt like a scene out of a high-octane spy movie. Okay, sorry, tangent over, snapping back to the main tea. So Caroline takes this tea sample and, instead of just dumping it or telling a doctor like a normal, boring person, she sends it off for independent lab testing. Do you understand the level of boss energy that requires? She bypassed the hospital entirely. She knew the hospital labs might be compromised or that Hayley might find out, so she went totally rogue. And when the results came back, I literally stopped breathing. The lab results showed that the tea was laced with a highly sophisticated, low-dose mixture of arsenic. Arsenic, besties. Hayley has been slowly, methodically poisoning Bill since October 2025 to cause gradual organ failure. I am straight up nauseous, just thinking about it. Hayley is the worst Black Widow wannabe in history, but she is actually doing massive, irreversible damage. She has been smiling in his face, holding his hand, and feeding him literal poison for almost a year. The sheer level of sociopathy is staggering. They are officially on my do not perceive list. I am so done with Hayley. She is a monster. But wait, because if you thought Caroline discovering the poison was the big twist, you are not ready for what she did next. I am still physically vibrating from the shock. Normal people, upon discovering that their boss's wife is slowly murdering him with arsenic, would call the police. They would call the FBI, the CIA, the Avengers, literally anyone with a badge. They would run to the authorities screaming, but not Caroline Lee. Oh no. Caroline looked at that lab report, looked at the undeniable proof of attempted murder, and said, "How can I monetize this?" I am literally screaming. Caroline decided to choose capitalism over justice. And honestly, it is the most unhinged, iconic, morally bankrupt thing I have ever witnessed on television. Caroline confronts Hayley. The scene was electric. I was physically vibrating. Caroline basically slides the lab report across the table and tells Hayley that she knows exactly what she's been doing. She breaks down the arsenic, the timeline, the slow organ failure. But instead of threatening her with prison, Caroline blackmails her. She demands that Hayley transfer her shares of Bill's law firm over to her. Caroline wants a piece of the empire, and she is using Hayley's murder plot as leverage to get it. I was clutching my chest. I am too unwell to handle this. She basically said, "Give me the company, or you go to jail for murder." Think about the irony here. Over at the law firm, Naomi Hawthorne and Tomas Navarro are literally tearing each other apart, fighting tooth and nail over who gets to control the firm while Bill is incapacitated. Tomas is being so aggressive and entitled, completely ignoring the real threat, while Naomi is trying to hold it together. And all the while, Caroline is quietly orchestrating a hostile takeover from the shadows by blackmailing the boss's murderous wife. It is brilliant. It is terrifying. It is everything. Tomas and Naomi are fighting for scraps while Caroline is stealing the entire bakery. But besties, let's talk about Hayley's reaction. You would think someone who just got caught attempting to murder their husband with arsenic would crumble, right? You would think she would beg for mercy, sign the papers, and run for the hills. But this is Hayley Hamilton. She didn't even flinch. Well, she flinched a little, but then her eyes just went completely dead. You could see the gears turning in her twisted little head. She is not going to be subjugated by an assistant. She is not going to just hand over the keys to the kingdom she has been slowly poisoning her husband to inherit. Hayley realizes that Caroline is a loose end. And what do we do with loose ends in Fairmont Crest? We snip them. Hayley is not going to hand over those shares. She is not going to let Caroline waltz into the law firm and take what she believes is rightfully hers. Instead, Hayley decides that if she's already in for a penny with poisoning Bill, she might as well be in for a pound. She starts planning to eliminate Caroline permanently to silence her. She is literally plotting a second murder to cover up the first attempted murder. I'm calling it right now. The villain arc is about to go nuclear, manifesting a total dumpster fire by the next update. Hayley is going to try to murder Caroline, turning this corporate power struggle into a full-blown, blood-soaked murder mystery at Fairmont Crest. And honestly, I don't know who to root for. Caroline is a blackmailing mastermind who is withholding life-saving information from her dying boss for financial gain. And Hayley is a poison-wielding psychopath. It's like Godzilla versus King Kong, but with designer bags, legal documents, and cups of deadly tea. I am literally pacing around my kitchen right now just thinking about how this is going to play out. Will Caroline see it coming? She has to, right? She's too smart not to know that blackmailing a murderer puts a massive target on her back. You don't just back a cornered venomous snake into a wall and expect it not to bite. But maybe she underestimated just how far gone Hayley really is. Hayley has nothing to lose at this point. If she goes down, she is taking everyone with her. My grip on reality is slipping, besties. This situation is now my entire personality, and I am not okay. And what about Bill in all of this? He is just lying there in his hospital bed, completely oblivious to the fact that his wife poisoned him and his assistant is using his impending death to steal his company. It's actually tragic when you think about it. Timon Kyle Durrett said Bill was blinded by what he believed was love, but he is literally being blinded by arsenic. He needs to wake up, kick Hayley to the curb, and figure out what is happening before he ends up in a body bag. He is the pawn in a chess game being played by two absolute masterminds of manipulation. And you know Danny is going to get dragged into this mess somehow. She is already trauma bonded to Bill and ruining her marriage to Andre over him. If she finds out Hayley poisoned him, the woman who stole her husband and was her daughter's best friend, she might literally finish the job and take Hayley out herself. The family tribunal with Anita, Vernon, and Nicole is going to look like a polite tea party compared to the absolute carnage that is about to unfold between Danny, Hayley, and Caroline. Danny will go feral, and honestly, I would support her. I genuinely cannot wait for the next episode. I am going to need an IV drip of espresso, a weighted blanket, and a stress ball to survive this week. The audacity of the writers to drop this on us. I am physically exhausted from caring this much. If Caroline actually gets murdered, I am rioting. If Hayley gets away with it, I am rioting. Basically, I am just in a permanent state of riot right now. Let me know in the comments whose side you are on in this unhinged blackmail plot, because I need to know I am not spiraling alone. I am going to go scream into a pillow now. Bye!